Hey everyone. Russo went home yesterday, and I just wanted to not only give you guys like a little, tidbit of how it went. I've got some video footage that I'm gonna put up after this. It went really well, really well. And I hope that it continues. I mean, we'll see. He's a young dog with some pretty intense behavioral issues, so we'll see how much the family progresses and how much he pushes back and things like that. He is a stubborn dog, so we'll see how that goes, but I was really proud of his progress here. And he is one of a handful of dogs recently that really made me think of a really good point that I wanted to tell you all, which is if you have a dog or a puppy with strong behavioral issues, like an adolescent puppy, I'm not talking about like a little 10-week-old puppy, but a young puppy or dog with really intense behavioral issues, some of those behavioral issues are definitely associated with you. Even if you've done everything in your power to control them and be a confident energy and be authoritative but yet loving, and you've tried to balance all these things and you're still struggling, even if you've done it right, those bad behaviors are linked to you, linked to the owners. It's the same thing with my dogs and myself. It's no different. So here's the thing. This is a really good training tip, or it's not so much a tip, it's just something to keep in mind. When you first start to change your dog's behavior, and they're pretty set in their ways, whether you've had them a month or 6 years, and they're pretty set in their ways, sometimes you get a lot of pushback in the beginning, and you can't get everything you want. So say you correct your dog for bad behavior with another dog, but yet when someone comes in the house, they won't listen to you in like the first few days or first even couple of weeks of training. That's because you don't represent that to your dog. You don't represent order and structure and that kind of permission-based relationship. So if you're trying to calm your dog down and teach them how to be a calmer, better balanced, better behaved dog, you can't do it right out of the gate because you have these previous associations with your dog. We've had a handful of dogs in here, and I think Russo is going to be one of them. JJ was one. Mufasa, the French Bulldog, was one. Where even though, like with the French Bulldog, Mufasa, he listened right away, but it took a while for him to calm down mentally on his own. So in the beginning, I'm constantly controlling their impulses. I'm constantly on top of them and trying to keep them calm, but I'm doing it. They're not doing it on their own. Some of the dogs, or a lot of the dogs, really get into that right away. And within a few days, I see a significant state of mind change. Significant, almost like miracle, like really amazing. And I mean, I can say that. I didn't come up with the type of training that I do, but it's just a really great way to train. But a lot of dogs need more time. They need to settle into the new way of living, of waiting at doors and learning place command and not jumping at other dogs or people, excited or aggressive, either one, because it's difficult for them to take instruction from you. And even me, even a new person, if they're really strong-minded. So, and they all for different reasons. Mui's reason, he was just had a lot of anxiety that he had to work through, but he was working through it on his own. But it took about a week for us to really see him significantly calm down without any guidance from us. So that's always a beautiful step we like to see, but sometimes it doesn't happen right away. And with his owners, it's going to take longer. It's going to take even longer for that to really kick in, just consistency. Russo was a perfect example. Took about 2 weeks. 2 weeks in, then I finally started to see a dog that started to hold himself accountable without me constantly on top of him and started to make better choices on his own. JJ, crazy Jack Russell Terrier, he was with his family for probably a month. And then they told me, yes, he's really starting to significantly calm down now and be more manageable. It wasn't happening right out of the gate. They had to redefine their relationship with their dog. even though he had been through the training with me. So I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind. You know, you can't have everything, you know, from the very beginning. And even if you're seeing improvements, but you feel like you're on top of your dog constantly, sometimes it takes several weeks, depending on the dog's issues, even a few months, to really see a significant change, like a really significant state of mind change. And that's if you're doing the right type of training, of course. But to really actually see them calm down on their own and hold themselves accountable and then just be a calmer dog, that doesn't happen overnight, guys. It sometimes can really take time. So just wanted to throw that out there. Here are some fun clips of Russo working with his family the other day. He's a good looking dog.
Isn't he cute?
Yeah. That's not cute though.
No. That is not cute behavior.
That is not cute. So what do you usually do when people come in?
Have them totally ignore him.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, like with him, like just put me through the process. Like tell me where to go, what to do.
We'll put him.
But just keep him. You don't have to tell him to sit, but just keep him in. Just not pulling us off.
Close.
Yeah.
A close stand.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was good. All right, so just walk to the door.
With him.
Yeah, with him. You're gonna do it with him. Because Scott won't always be here when you have people over. All right, so have him sit.
Sit. Good boy.
Good. Let's just wait a second. Take a couple steps towards the door, see if he gets up. Good. Good. Go ahead. He's doing really good. Go ahead and tell him to lay down, not with the e-collar.
Down. Good boy.
Now, if for some reason he didn't lay down, because you're set for a correction, you would need to scroll down to like a 4 or 5, and tell him to lay down, have him settle, and then scroll back up. Because there's 2 sets of this, right? There's hearing people walk up or the knocking, and then there's actually seeing, the person. Yeah, exactly. So give him a little bit more leash because you got to open the door, but I don't want him right on top of the door. So. So here's the tricky part. If he doesn't growl or bark, but he gets up, you don't use the e-collar because you're set for a correction, right? You just reset him just with the leash. Just know, and reset him with the leash. So open the door just a couple of inches. That's it. And keep an eye on him. Good. Go ahead and open it up more and watch him. And you need to prep your guest, of course. We'll talk about that. And just say hi to Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa. Hi. How are you? Good. How are you? What a surprise. I haven't seen you in so long.
So he's doing wonderful. Okay, so what I want you to do is you instruct your guest to come on in and close the door behind him, and then you come back over here in the corner with Russo and give space.
Okay. Can you come in, shut the door behind you, and I'm going to go over and give Russo space.
So come back over here in the corner. Just right over here. Give him a pop. There you go. There you go. He had a moment of focus there, so that was good. Have him sit.
Sit.
So he's doing wonderful. So now you can scroll back down. You can scroll back.
I can't see it because I have. Oh, okay.
It lights up when you move it. Yeah.
Yeah, that helps. Okay, so should I be at a 4?
Yeah, I would go to like a 6 or 7, like the first few times that you do this with someone new. Plus he knows, Alyssa, you can smell that he knows her, so it's definitely a little bit different once he smells. So what I would say is just like, you can't quite be the perfect host as in, oh, come on into our home. You lead the way in. So if we were going to the kitchen, you would lead your way into the kitchen, put him in crate or place, and then sit down with your friend. Okay. Or if we're going into the living room, you say, follow me, let's go, and we go into the living room. So go ahead and go into the living room now. Oh yeah, where you usually sit with guests. Yeah, so let's go. And just sit.
I'd probably put his place here.
That's fine, yeah.
Sit.
And just sit wherever you normally sit. You can put him right next to you, actually, in the beginning, because you want to be really on top of him. Alyssa, have a seat somewhere, hon. And just go ahead and tell him down.
Down. Good.
Very good. Very, very good. Just
Let's
say,
go.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, good. Yeah, pop him. Don't let him pull. Have him sit and lay down. Have him lay down.
Down. Do I have to talk to her?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But wait, I'm gonna stop you right there though. Like, no joke, guys. The speaking, the speaking is sometimes creates the bad behavior. So you've literally got to watch him and be like, hey, how you doing? Stay out there for right now, you know? Yeah, give him up another pop, get his butt down on the ground. There you go. And keep an eye on him, because as soon as she or he, your guest, opens his mouth, might be when he has a reaction. Yep, and you want to be right on top of him. And your friends know that it's really all about Russo the first few minutes, so they won't mind, you know? So yeah, just tell her to come on in and shut the door behind her.
Come on in. Shut the door behind you.
And you, Scott, you come in here right away. Like,
Let's
you,
go.
there you go, and come in and sit down. Perfect. Because otherwise it's too much pressure for him to stand there
Sit.
and watch someone come in. So scroll back down on your e-collar. Scroll down to like a 6. Good. Tell him no if he nudges you.
Okay.
Tell him no.
All right.
I mean, he's fine. What he's doing is
Borderline.
cute, but
Borderline.
fine. So tell him no.
No.
There you go. So he's doing good, but this routine is causing some anxiety. You see that, right? I mean, he's doing good, but just, even though he knows Alyssa, just the routine is causing some anxiety.